They're going to put him under to just arthroscopically take a closer look at that knee. So obviously the MRI hasn't been clear enough for them to see what the tears are, what the situation is. Not that I'm some medical doctor, but it was just explained to me that the hope is they see something in there and it's not that serious.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Happy Red Friday. I'm Hayley Lewis, and this is Chiefs News Daily. We got T-minus 72 hours until the Chiefs kick off some Monday Night Football. We're going to discuss what key players are going to be sidelined and how both the Chiefs and the Saints have been bit by the injury bug. Also, the coordinator spoke at the Chiefs facility today, so we got those pressers headed your way now. As always, first, like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel, and let's get into it. It is the Banged Up Bowl going down on Monday night. The Chiefs and the Saints, both plagued by injuries, rolling into Arrowhead Stadium for some primetime football. Kansas City adding another key offensive player to the IR this week, and to add it on, new names popping up on the injury report yesterday. Let's start with Kansas City's side of things. So Thursday, the Chiefs officially placed Rashee Rice on the injured reserve. Now, this came as no surprise, might even potentially hint at something positive. Let me explain. Yesterday, head coach Andy Reid shared at the podium that Rice would be the lone Chiefs player not to practice. Coach added that the wide receiver will get further tests done next week, and there are no other updates to report as of now. Now, Big Red did explain that they want to wait for the swelling in Rice's knee to subside before the wide receiver undergoes additional testing that's happening next week. Now, the second-year wideout was spotted in the locker room after press conferences were held yesterday, and according to The Athletic's Nate Taylor, Rice was walking around pretty well considering his circumstances. Now, he does indeed have some swelling around his right knee. Early next week, Rice is expected to see a specialist in Dallas to better determine the severity of his injury. Now, shortly after practice, the team put out the official word that Rice would be placed on the IR and miss at least the next 4 games. While weeks versus season ending is definitely a positive, but that's not still completely confirmed. Dr. Jesse Morse explains that according to a reliable source, Rice is undergoing an arthroscopy probably Monday or Tuesday to evaluate the damage. Now, this procedure examines the ACL, the PCL, meniscus, and articular cartilage. Dr. Morse continued to say that if the surgeon finds a significant meniscus tear, a large cartilage injury, or moderate to severe injury to the ACL, they will likely perform season-ending surgery. Now, PCL sprains, even more severe ones, usually don't require surgery. So it sounds like the MRIs were not super confident, possibly due to the swelling. Now, the best way to confirm a diagnosis in the knee is to visually inspect it, and that looks to be the plan. The Athletic's Dianna Russini and former NFL QB Chase Daniel seem to agree. Take a listen to their take on Scoop City.
It was just explained to me that the hope is they see something in there and it's not that serious, and then maybe he can get back in 6 weeks. Otherwise, it'll probably be 6 months because he'll probably need surgery 6 months or more, right? So
yeah, I mean, they're holding out hope, right? I mean, it's sort of crazy because I haven't been a part of a lot of teams where the MRI doesn't tell everything. And I know Rick Burkholder, the head athletic trainer over there personally, is one of the best in the game. And it's just interesting to see. I'm guessing they're holding out hope, right? Like IR makes sense right here so you don't use up the roster spot, and maybe just try to rehab the knee and try to get them back for a late season run, or I don't know.
Whenever you discover something new, the first thing you want to do is share it with your friends so they can experience it too. That's kind of what it feels like when you discover that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service for just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. It's such an awesome deal, there's no way you can keep it to yourself. No more negotiating with big wireless companies for overpriced plans, and no more hidden fees with Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you and your friends with premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month. And if you're worried about keeping your own phone and keeping your contacts, you can bring all of that along when you switch to Mint Mobile. So ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15 a month. To get this new customer offer on your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/KCSNCND. That's mintmobile.com/KCSNCND. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/KCSNCND. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
So it sounds like we're not going to get more information until after Monday night's game during the bye week. So until then, we just got to be patient and wait. So that means wide receiver Hollywood Brown, running back Isaiah Pacheco, and now Rashee Rice all sit on the Chiefs' IR. Through 2 games, Pacheco was responsible for 61% of the Chiefs' rushing yards, and through 3 games, Rice was responsible for 40% of the Chiefs' receiving yards. So let me add some salt to the wound. On Thursday, running back Kareem Hunt hopped up on the injury report after practice with a shoulder injury. Now, Hunt wasn't the only player who was limited in practice. Wide receiver Mecole Hardman and defensive end Mike Dianna also limited along with Hunt during their work. Now, Dianna missed last week's game against the Chargers due to the same calf injury he's listed with. However, Hardman's knee injury seems to be a new one. On Friday, Hardman did not practice at all. Everyone else worked in some way. One positive note, running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire was designated to return off of the NFI. Yesterday, head coach Andy Reid shared that Clyde you saw was elevated. He's got a 21-day window. We'll just get him back into the swing of things here and see how he does going forward here in the next couple of days. Now, for the question, will he play on Monday night? That's still undecided. Reid said he is in good shape, but they're going to start him on the scout team and just get him some reps to get him back into the football part of things. All right, that is it for the Chiefs, at least for now. So let's take a look at the Saints' injury woes. So Kansas City has 5 players on their injury report, with 7 players on the injured reserve or out. The New Orleans Saints have 14 players on their injury report, with 8 players on the injured reserve or out. Former Chiefs linebacker, now with the Saints, Willie Gay Jr. did not practice yesterday due to a hand injury he sustained last week against the Falcons. Tyrann Mathieu, another former Chiefs, dealt with a groin injury last Sunday, but he's not listed. Tight end Taysom Hill is dealing with some fractured ribs and unlikely to play on Monday. Saints head coach Dennis Allen shared yesterday that the team hasn't ruled out the possibility of putting Hill on the IR just yet. On the offensive line, center Shane Lemieux and right guard Cesar Ruiz did not practice. Left tackle Taliese Fuga was limited. Another notable player is wide receiver Chris Olave, who was nursing a hamstring injury. However, on Thursday, he was a full participant. Lastly, I'm going to mention running back Alvin Kamara, who is dealing with some broken ribs, and it looks to be like a hip injury as well. He was limited in practice. Now, through 5 games, Kamara has rushed for 362 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. Check out the full injury report below for both teams after Friday's practices for the latest. Now, at least for Kansas City, after Monday night, the team does get their bye week to rest up before returning to play against the San Francisco 49ers in a Super Bowl rematch. So which injury concerns you the most going into Week 5's game? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the Chiefs got enough to power through? All right, it is time to head to the Chiefs practice facility for some Friday press conferences. Not our normal Fast Friday with head coach Andy Reid due to the game being on Monday. So Fast Friday is actually going to be on Saturday this week. Today we hear from the coordinators. So without further ado, here are the Chiefs coaching staff.
Do it. Washington could do it. Any of those 2 guys could possibly pop up, if Mecole was down, and then obviously we have other guys in the, Worthy could be a punt returner, Sky Moore, Watson. We have a lot of guys. We have a lot of options there.
I think he laid a foundation here, especially in the secondary, of some of the things that we do, quite frankly, and the way they operate. I know those years, looking back when he was first here, LJ was young at the time, and I remember him learning from Tyrann. And then, then Tyrann left, and LJ was teaching Trent. And so there's been a trickle down, and I think we owe Tyrann a lot for what he did when he was here.
NFL teams across the league right now are dealing with injuries, so who's the next man up? It's generic, but it's real. And then how do you work through that? So we feel like we have a lot of great receivers on our roster, guys with experience, guys with different talents, and then it's our job in prep-wise to put them in the greatest position.
Yeah, we got Willie Gay, TK, Tyrann, Colin Sanders. I talked to him last night. I'm gonna call him today, see if he can give me any spits about him being in the offense. Probably won't. But it's good, man. It's good to play against your peers that you once played and accomplished so much with. It's also a challenge, though. We want to come in here and make sure we leave with a win, So it's exciting. Looking forward to it, and maybe we can chat after the game.
Alrighty, folks, that does it for another episode of Chiefs News Daily. Have a great rest of your Friday. Enjoy the weekend. We will not be here on Monday due to the game, so we'll see you back here on Tuesday night. In the meantime, like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel.